CMPRadio.net, the voice of Chester.
Stuck on 76, 95, 476, 222. You get the picture. Anyway, jump on this train.
Leftovers in your fridge, right? You gotta check your fridge, make sure the leftovers ain't in there. Got, empty your fridge out. It was funny because sometimes I do take little risks, right? So, for instance, but
just bet you do.
Right.
It don't smell that bad.
I'm not trying to make money off of this. It's a sell by.
It's a sell by.
Consume by.
What the hell? You are definitely him too.
19-year-old college student in Massachusetts. So he went into the hospital as a result of shock and had multiple organ failures and a rash. The 19-year-old. He's only referred to as JC. He was starting to feel abdominal pain and nausea after eating rice, chicken, and lo mein leftovers. He then began vomiting, experiencing chills, generalized weakness, chest pain, shortness of breath, stiffness, blurry vision, all that. And then a few hours before his admission, his skin developed a purplish discoloration. So he's alive. He did make it. Of course, he had to lose both his legs and all his fingers.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
Take me.
Exactly. The only good news is, I still got my Peter, but that's about it.
Take me.
It's time for the D train.
Show of hands. Who's ridden the train before?
Darren DeVoue.
All right. All aboard.
Yes, hello and good morning. CMPRadio.net is the station, and you're using it to be on this train. Put those bags down. You don't need them. You're on the D train with Darren DeVoue on CMPRadio.net. Good morning, Mom. Good morning, Leslie. How are you? Gerald, good morning. Today's at Run of the D train, we're going to talk about a quick bit about Cathy Griffith's 2016 book, Celebrity Run-Ins from A to Z. More guns, but less gun safety. It's a mad world. And a short list for P's weekly hero. But other than that, how you doing, P?
I'm good, brother. How you feeling, man?
Oh man, I'm all right, man. I tell you what though, last week when we were talking about the Sixers. I put my little $2 bet on them, and against the Orlando Magic, they were 12.5-point favorites, or as they say in gambling terms, 12 and a hook. The hook is the half point. So also though, they always say the hook is the crook. Sure enough, the Sixers needed overtime to beat a bad Orlando team by 12, thus not covering, costing me my whole $2. But that doesn't concern me about the Sixers. What concerns me is, not the loss to Dallas, not the butt whipping by Brooklyn, but Harden was out partying. Like after that loss, partying with the baby and Meek Mills and all that. After that Brooklyn loss, that's the kind of thing that concerns me there. Like that would have been the day.
Why does that concern you?
After a butt whooping like that, I mean, I'm going out after a loss here and there, but man, I don't know.
Has Harden won ever?
Oh, how about that? He doesn't have the winning mentality.
No, he doesn't. So that was my thing with getting him. Yeah. Right? It was better than Ben Simmons,
right?
But not a winner. And you need a winner's mentality to win in the NBA. Like losing just doesn't sit well with you.
Yeah, right.
You feel me? So as soon as you lose, you're like, no, I got to get my shot back. I got to figure out why I was off. Right? He had a terrible game, where you thought he would have been the hero of that game, right, to say this is what you gave up. In all actuality, New York, the Brooklyn is like, that's what we gave up?
That's your problem.
That's your problem now. You feel me? Like we gonna go ahead and tear this court up. So yeah, I don't know what everybody thought they were getting. Because you're not really getting it. Right. It's Ben Simmons with a beard.
And a jumper.
And a jumper, right? Now you have your jumper. What happened to the defense? Because he gets smoked, bro.
Oh, man. He ain't thinking about that. Defense is an afterthought for that fella.
He want all the smoke.
Oh, yeah. But with that said, it's time that we move on to the global news that is on everybody's mind.
Global news.
Yes. And of course, I'm talking about Kanye, Kim Kardashian, and Pete Davidson.
Man.
You know, this past week he got well, as you all know, shoot, they're probably a little kid. Jordan probably knows what's going on. Right.
He's a nut.
Right. You all know, he's been having issues with his lady moving on. So Snapchat, or Instagram, they suspended him for 24 hours.
Yeah, because he's bullying.
They said, "Yo, you need to sit down."
I think once you understand that every man that files for divorce or gets divorce papers handed to him, it changes him in that instant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's trying to figure out what he do wrong, why it's not working. And then for her, because you know the Kardashians, they're easy, like they're on to the next man. As soon as they drop them off, it's another man right around the corner, right? So it's crazy because you know he's going through it emotionally, and
full display for everyone. Man, dude. I mean, we've all been there, but as guys, we guys, I'm sorry. There's an unwritten man law. You do your psycho missions on the solo.
No, because you people need to know this happens, that men have these feelings, because a lot of people feel like men shouldn't talk about the issues that they have. They talk about they shouldn't have a problem with getting a divorce and finding a new woman, and your girlfriend's dating somebody that you feel is less than you. You feel me? It's a reason she picked Pete Davidson, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she could have had any man out here, and she picks Pete Davidson because she knows how bad that will fuck with Kanye's ego.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, nigga, anybody can have this. What's wrong with you? Like, that's all you had to do. Like, I'm gonna give it to Pete Davidson, and I don't have a problem with Pete Davidson. He's a funny guy. He really is, right? But in that nature of Kanye being worth billions of dollars and Pete Davidson being worth a couple $100,000, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, damn. For real? Him? You letting him do the swerve dance all up in my and I'm over here looking like a nut? Yeah, that hurts.
Looking like a whole nut.
That hurts, bro. That hurts. You feel me?
Make it seem like I'm some like type of lunatic because you only make me hotter.
But he's upset. He's upset over his daughter being on. He's upset over his daughter being on TikTok. He doesn't want his daughter used that way, right? And that's the problem.
You signed up for this, bro. That's their brand. Like
Jay-Z told him, bro, you sure? Like, you sure you want to? Like, it's gonna be a lot of smoke coming with it. You're not getting a Beyonce, bro.
You saw the boy that Chris Humphries. He got in and got out.
I'm going.
He said that's enough for me.
Fuck this whole basketball career up.
But right. Then you got Kanye exchanging the text with the young fella Pete Davidson. Like, oh man, like come on, dude. And you know that it was. I don't know it for a fact, but I believe it to be true. Davidson was the one who leaked that. You know what I mean? Because then you get home. I mean, bad enough, you seen that claymation video Kanye made with him in it. And I'm sure that Davidson, like most guys would have saw that video and said, you know what? When I get back to that spot tonight, I'm going to jump up and down on that thing like it's a trampoline, boy, just to make this guy upset. She going to be sprung by the time I'm done with it. And then it reminded me of the time this dude showed up at my doorstep.
A dude showed up at your doorstep?
Yes, he did. With his boy, too. Like, I was... So, unbeknownst to me, the woman that I was dating at the time, she was still with him. They had been in and out together since high school or whatever.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
The woman you were dating at the time,
right,
was still messing with her ex-husband?
Her ex-boyfriend.
Ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
Well, so you weren't really dating
her? No, exactly. Because I'm looking at her at that point like, he's saying I'm messing with his woman. I'm messing with you, right? How could I be messing with his woman if I'm messing with you?
Because I'm his woman. Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
But then it was funny because then dude was he was harassing me. He was texting me and stuff. And so I'm like, okay, I need an apology from you, sir. Now, because if you don't, ... I'm going to keep banging her. And so sure enough, he didn't apologize, and it escalated from there. But
Yeah, it's gonna escalate. Yeah. Like, how dare you say something like that to me? How dare you? Who do you think you are?
Right.
Are you kidding me? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
But moral of the story: don't let pride make your pride productive, people.
Please make your pride productive, right? If you are productive, and that's what I'm saying. Kanye just needs to get back to making music, man.
Right.
His personal life, he has to learn to cut that off, right? You know, and maybe he wants that attention, but.
And he is an attention whore, but I think he's got a little CTE from that accident though.
Got a God complex because he said if they wrote the Bible again, he would be in it. Duh, yeah.
He said, "Yeah, I'd be in it."
Yeah, he would. He would. I mean, really,
know.
literally.
I mean, come on. I thought Nina Simone's music was was important to the people. It shows you what I know.
If you literally write a book right now and bury it, and somebody finds it 1,000 years from now, you understand what I'm saying? And they now say this is the Bible. You feel me? These are the teachings of Ye. You feel me? And literally, that's what it is. That's what it could be. You never know. We go through a nuclear war and everything's blown up, and 1,000 years from now, civilization starts rebuilding itself and putting itself back together, and they find this book.
Oh, have you ever seen? We've talked about. I mentioned Idiocracy to you before, right?
No, what's that?
Idiocracy is this hilarious movie. At the time, I thought it was just funny, but the more I'm living life, like it was made like 20 years ago, but now I'm like, oh yeah, Kanye with the Leslie mentioned in the comments, Kanye and DL Hughley. How you gonna start a Twitter beef with comedians? You're setting yourself up for failure.
Kanye feels as though he's a comedian himself. He's like, he laughs at himself all the time.
Oh my God.
I'm funny. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This shit is funny. And I don't have to tell the joke. I'm living it.
Right.
I'm funny. Like, yeah, that's crazy. And that bull just sitting there, he talking about where you at. You using profanity. Where are you right now? In the bed with your wife.
Oh my God. Check it out. Here's a picture.
Poor Kanye, man. I feel sorry for him.
Oh my
But hopefully he meets a woman that can take his mind off of these things that he's dealing with. Because it's important. It's important he gets back in the studio and gets back to work. Right. And create money. Or create sneakers. Whatever it is.
Right. Get off that.
Create fashion, right? Get off of this whole Kim situation. Leave that where it is.
Right.
Your kids are taken care of. She's a good mother.
Right.
So what? She likes to, she's a woman. You know what I mean? She likes to
she's
get
a free spirit.
She likes to get her taco stuffed. So what? That's cool. But if she's raising your kids correctly and she's giving your kids love, then when you get them, you give them love. That's all that matters. Right. Who she's dealing with should not fucking matter to you. It's over, Con.
Oh my God.
I ain't gonna call him yet. I'm gonna call him Con. That's what he acting like. Pros and cons of this situation.
Oh my goodness.
He needs a woman like his mother. Yeah, he needs to go back to dating black women. Extraordinarily black women. Like
unapologetically black women.
Yeah, leave them light-skinned sisters alone. Yeah. You feel me? Like leave them alone. They the devil. Listen, Gay, they are the devil. Am I lying?
Guys are changed but then again, guys are changed after they date them. But then again, you could say the same thing about Erykah Badu.
Erykah Badu changes people for the better.
Okay.
Literally. Right. Everybody she's touched, she's changed for the better.
They're all different.
You feel me? Like, I mean, when you get with a woman, man, you have to change.
Oh, yeah. Every person makes a little brush on you.
Right.
The canvas that is you,
Yeah, you can't get with a woman and remain the same.
No.
You're not gonna keep her.
Right, you don't want that.
You feel me? And Erykah Badu is the type of woman that likes what she likes. So if you ain't down with my flow, you're not gonna get none of this, Joe.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of celebrities that crave attention, my man 6ix9ine.
Snitch 9.
Snitch 9, nice. He was in court this past week, he was in court recently because he declared to a judge he's facing a civil suit over this. If you've seen the robbery before in that hallway where members of the Trey 6ix9ine approached two guys in the hallway in a studio, they beat them up, robbed them. They thought, according to the plaintiffs, these two producers, they thought that Sakitha Wanzer and Kevin Dozier are the names. They say that 6ix9ine was present, but they also say that they mistook them for members of Rap-A-Lot's Records, which is run by Jay Prince. Mm-hmm. And so 6ix9ine pleaded guilty to the crime as part of his deal with prosecutors in his racketeering trial. But now, as part of the civil suit, he's saying, I ain't got it. He's saying right now, says 6ix9ine, right now I'm struggling to make ends meet. I do not know if I will ever command the kind of advances I was paid before my arrest, and my career has stalled. He's lost a recording, or his court recording deal has expired, as well as with 10,000 projects. And also he had a merchandising deal that's gone through. So he's saying that he didn't receive any large advances and any royalties under his agreements, either since my royalty accounts remain unrecouped. So, but what happened to all this, like you see in the picture, what happened? He took that advance money and just stimulated the economy with it. Like, I think this is a
No, he's smart.
You say, oh, wait, you say I'm broke? Say I'm broke in court? Yeah. How much can you afford to pay? $1.
Yeah, I'm broke. I ain't got no money, right? He done put all his money in other accounts and other situations, right? He ain't stupid. He can't be stupid.
Right, because,
to be able to weasel himself out of the situations that he's put in, to put yourself at the top of the line. I'm the most gangsterist motherfucker out here.
Yes.
Get locked up and say, not me. I didn't know what they were doing. I had no idea.
I'm just as shocked as all y'all.
I was just perpetrating the fraud. And then to come out and do it again.
Right.
Motherfucker, I'll pull up wherever the ho. I thought you were not built for this. Like,
psych.
How can you come out? What you talking about? I'm built for this.
Oh my
you need to interview me. When he hit Gilly up and was like, yo, you need to interview me, man. This would be the Gilly looking at the phone like, nigga, I don't want to talk to you. Why the fuck would I interview you? It'll be the greatest, the dopest, the most awesomest situation ever, and people will maybe for you.
Right.
For me, it'll be a negative.
Right.
You feel me? So I'm not interviewing you. I'm not talking to you.
Right.
I'm cool.
And going back to what you said about he's not stupid, like I see him, like his whole thing about presenting himself, that shows to me he's not stupid.
Right.
Because I mean, like he's done an excellent job in creating attention, buzz.
Right.
Like he
bought all those cars and chains. Of course he's broke. Listen, all that stuff could be sold back. Literally, all that stuff could be sold back. The chains, the diamonds, all that stuff could be sold right back. Motherfucker buy it. Maybe not for what you paid for it.
There you go.
But motherfucker will buy it.
You want to take a haircut on that price.
Like, but so I don't believe he's broke. You know? I think he's playing a game. You feel me? And hopefully, the lawyers find out where his money is, and they let him feel what it's like to really be broke. Because overseas, I'm sure he can sell concerts out.
Yeah, he can. He's exactly. He's popular overseas.
This is not your crowd anymore.
Okay,
the American public is not your crowd anymore. We don't fuck with you. You feel me? You did some old crazy shit. Now, even though we know you weren't built for that, you made it seem like you were. So we can't forgive you for the lie, and then we definitely can't forgive you for telling. You were supposed to take that on the chin. We already know people don't do shit like that.
What you know is what you can prove.
Right.
So he proved he is not that dude. Yeah.
He's exactly who you thought he was.
Oh my goodness. Oh well, let's keep the theme going with attention-seeking whores that are in the music business. Did you see this recently with Stevie J?
What's Stevie J do?
Stevie J is back in the news. He was doing a FaceTime interview with the reporter Leah A. Henry on Leah's Lemonade, and Go ahead. Let's see what it looks like to you, the viewing audience. Go ahead, P. Roll this.
You're a beautiful black woman.
Thank you.
Look at you.
Well, one, he's in.
I'm honest. You know what I'm saying? I'm with my best friend, Pup. I'm
Right now?
back with my. Yeah, I'm at the Star Island right now. If you,
I'm not
I'm not even gonna. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, it's going down. How's this right here?
Yep, Stevie.
You see this body right here?
Hold on, wait. It's a hand right there. Hold on. Stevie, why am I in bed with you right now?
No, he said you want to
Out of control.
You're a distraction. You're a distraction. We trying to
No,
talk.
you're a
about
distraction.
No, you're a distraction. We're talking about you. Pick the camera up.
Where do you want me to take the
Definitely
camera
being
to?
Filleted right now. Why he's definitely being filleted. Yeah.
What's that?
Fellatio. Well, I don't know if filleted is a word, but fellatio is a word, and he was receiving said fellatio.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
You would.
That's awesome. That's fucking awesome.
Oh,
Doing
my
the interview, you feel me? Like, I feel like I gotta get in the gym, man. I gotta get my pecs and shit in order. Shoulders straight.
So you can do a FaceTime interview.
So I can do an interview and I can have my shirt off and be sitting there. I seen the other hand.
Right, you see the hand
I
coming,
see the other hand.
and the
you feel
position of
me?
the hand.
So the position of the hand said that her body was, down south. But damn, that's awesome. Shout out to Stevie J, man.
You know what though? My mom and my brother, one of my brothers, they would watch that.
Shout out to fucking Stevie J, man.
Oh my goodness, my brother and one of my brothers and my mother would be watching that show that he was on. That Brain Candy. What was it? Love and Hip Hop.
Loving flip flops.
Yeah. And he would just annoy me though with that perma smirk on his face all the time. Like,
He's definitely my hero for the week. It's right there. It's over right there. Like, you giving an interview and you sitting there, you getting filleted. Like, yeah. So what is it that you like? Oh man, I love everything. Yeah, right there. Oh shit. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
No. Who are you talking to me? No. I'm talking to my kids. Talking to your kids?
Oh, I heard. Well, Leslie said in the comments, he's married to Faith.
Oh no, he's paused.
Yeah,
they paused
I
that
heard
situation.
They're about to. Yeah.
That's a wrap. That wasn't going. You thought that was going to last?
No, good for Faith. Get in.
Good for him.
Right. Oh yeah.
Good for him.
I don't think any.
Who is Faith Evans?
Right.
He got to stop. Just go to the strip club, get you get you 2 or 3. You feel me?
And that's right.
Yeah.
That's more on brand.
Turn him into a girl group. He can write.
That's right up his alley.
That's right up his alley. Go in there. You might got to pick him from different, strip clubs, but turn him into a girl group. You feel me? Get him out there, write their songs. He's a wonderful musician.
Right.
You feel me? He makes good beats and good, So yeah.
So yeah, I can't deny his talent.
Yeah, can't deny him, but he needs people that he can work with. You really can't work with Faith. Like Faith is, Faith. It's not. I'm not knocking Faith, but I'm just saying she's 1990s. It's no
She's
way you're not going to work anybody from the 90s in the 20s. You feel me? It doesn't work. It's 30 years.
Yeah, you're just going to have to do that tour where you play the hits.
I'll never. Yeah. Well, you need to. I know you said you would never, but you need to. Just leave me the hell alone.
Oh my goodness. What about? Did you hear about? Well, speaking of guys that ain't built that tough. Well, I ain't one to talk. Shoot, I'd have cried my way out of jail just like Jesse Smollett.
Man, he's bull.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. What were you gonna say, Pete? I'm sorry.
He's BSing.
Okay. Oh yeah.
There are people, I've seen people go to jail and make it, and he was only going to be in jail for 5 months.
Right.
Just keep your mouth shut. Mind your fucking business and do what you got to do. That's it. Do your
Y'all ever heard of Juicy Smollett? Juicy Smollett is an actor from France, and he became famous on a show called Empire.
That's his new name. That's probably what they were calling him.
Juicy Smouye.
Juicy Smouye.
And they was gonna get him too. They was gonna small his leg right up.
Oh yeah, so he he got released, but it's still the deal is still not. Most legal analysts are saying it ain't over, so he may still
it's
be
not
looking
over.
at time. Damn, though, just messed the whole career. Just
He wanted attention. And this is what happens when you deal with people, when you deal with your people and you want attention. You have to deal with the other people when you want attention, because the other people don't want to get caught. So they making sure, well, listen, we ain't trying to get caught for this, but we'll put it on. We'll do the show for you, but we ain't trying to get caught. Those other people, they wanted attention. They wanted to be paid. They were trying to be actors. They were trying to be what were they? Personal trainers.
Okay,
So,
right.
And listen, like, he was tripping for even having them do that shit. They not built for that.
Well, and then, I guess, was this a negotiating ploy? Going back to the incident that started the whole thing, was that a negotiating ploy?
No, it was
like, because I know his contract was about to be up, or was
the show was over?
Or he was written off the show.
Yeah,
he was written off the show. So I guess he just trying to stay in the line.
Nah, not even stay in the limelight. Just keep on moving, bro. Your career ain't over.
Yeah, right.
You down with the LGBTQ? You will be out here forever.
Oh yeah, you get, especially now y'all hot in the streets.
Now you done fucked up. They like, damn, we can't even trust you. What's wrong with you?
Oh my goodness,
you done violated every rule. First of all, you said somebody attacked you. Then you use racism. Then you use the fact that you're gay. So they attacked you not only because you're black, but you're black and you're gay.
He played the whole card. He played
He put all this
dummy in the middle of the table.
Dummy.
Oh my goodness. We've talked before a lot about the booger sugar, the fentanyl, the opioids that are out here nowadays.
Who is using booger sugar?
No, well, I'm saying that you should stay away from booger sugar, because actually a lot of this stuff is laced with fentanyl, and that's what we're going to talk about for the next couple of stories here. Did you hear this young lady, a South Philly woman, Madison Lady? She's 27 years old. She pleaded guilty to delivery resulting in death and abuse of a corpse. What happened was she slid her friend, 18-year-old Aaron Schweikart, some fentanyl-laced heroin. And Aaron passed away in her home that Lady was renting at the time. This was in October 2019. The problem, that's
it's cocaine, Leslie.
Thank you. So Lady turned around. She had Schweikert's corpse here at the house. Took it down in the basement and put it in a plastic container where it sat for 3 months until it was discovered. And
big dummy.
Yeah.
Big dummy. Because you don't want to make a mess. Okay, this is how you get rid of a body, ladies and gentlemen. Go to your Home Depot. Buy a saw. Saw the body apart.
Don't you have to exsanguinate it first in the tub?
What, get all the blood out?
Yeah.
No, just use a plastic bag. Cover them with a plastic bag. You feel me?
Okay.
Put it on the floor. Put a lot of towels and shit around it to soak up all the blood. Because it's going to get messy.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to get fucking messy.
A section of chicken and it got messy.
Yes, it's going to get messy. Cut the body up. Put the body in different parts of the bag, in different bags. Take the bag out. It took her 3 months to get rid of the whole body. It's going to take her two to 3 days to get rid of the whole body, right? Take the bag out. Take it far. Just drive. I don't care how far you got to drive. Just drive. Throw it in or take it to a landfill.
Yeah. That's a good.
You know what I'm saying? And just drop it the fuck off, right? But do not. I repeat, do not leave the body in your house.
For 3 months
because it's gonna stink. Everybody come in. What is that smell?
Stinky.
What the fuck is that smell?
Yeah, there was a guy in England many moons ago. He was gay. He was lonely, so he didn't like to let his dudes go. So he would kill the dudes, but then he would keep them and then started to boil them, like trying to reduce the corpse down. He actually got caught because he clogged up the toilet, disposing of them through the toilet.
Who the hell? He was flushing them?
Yeah.
Oh.
He would try, boil off the fat and everything, and then,
Yes.
and then he created a fatberg.
Yes, I do know how to get rid of a body. No, I've never done it before. Right? I'm just a man speaking on no experience. But if you die around me and it's my fault, they will never find you. You hear about that body they found the other
In the
day?
water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
19 years, man. R.I.P. to the brother, man. Like 19 years, his family didn't know where he was or if he had ran off with another woman. You at the mall, you think you saw him. You feel me? Like,
Oh, yeah.
he was in the bottom of the river. Wow.
Damn. Actually, I've real quick, P. Can we go back for a second? I missed one story.
You talking about Cathy Griffith?
Yeah, that's my girl. So we go quick bit of what I've been reading, what I've been watching. So I did Cathy Griffin's book, Celebrity Run-Ins from A to Z. She is hysterical anyway.
She is.
If you've ever seen My Life on the D List, etc., she's a funny girl. But she ran down a few encounters. One of which was, we talked about the Kardashians. She actually became like sort of friends. She developed many friendships with most of these celebrities, and she literally did go through A to Z. One of the ones that stood out to me was Usher, because she always takes Usher to task for discovering Justin Bieber, and every time she sees him, she never lets him forget it. So now she says that whenever Usher sees her, she says he'll give her a wave, but then he's out. She said it's almost like he's floating on air. Like he just
How does he move that fast?
Oh, but here's a quick snippet where she's talking about an encounter she had with one of the Kardashians and the Jenner girl, Caitlyn Jenner.
Kat goes, I'd like to send a car for your people.
Oops, I'm sorry. That's the next story with Cat Williams.
Kris Jenner pipes in. She walks over, and she's got a drink in her hand, and she goes, I was just in another conversation, and we were trying to figure out how I'd classify our family. And I noticed you were here, Cathy, so I thought, Cathy Griffin's going to be able to come up with something right away about how to classify us. I pretended to take a minute to think about it, and then I said, I'm going to have to stick with dirty whores. And they actually...
Oh, shit. Damn.
But, actually, though, you do have to give the Jenners points because they turned around
and they actually cheered and laughed. Like, they went like, cheers, clink. And that's when I went, oh, shit. They get it.
Mm-hmm. Dirty whores.
Oh, but she's funny. She's good at that, though. Like, she's not an insult comedian, per se. She's not an insult comedian, per se, like Triumph, the insult dog. But she's good at ripping people. Or like if you start to, and it's covered a lot of times in the book, if you start to act like you're a little nervous about her, then she just ramps it up even more. But here's a little quick bits about when she interacted with a little story she had with Cat Williams. They're actually pretty tight.
Night, Shug. Former CEO of Death Row Records, can give a hell of a death stare.
Kidding.
One night I was talking to my pal, comedian Cat Williams, on the phone, and he said, what are you doing right now? I said, I'm in my pajamas and my boyfriend is watching sports. Cat goes, I'd like to send a car for your people, if you want it.
So, yeah, now they're about to go over Cat Williams' house.
Okay, we get in the car, we drive to Cat's, and as we pulled into his driveway, I noticed more than one Lamborghini and 2 cages in the front lawn that housed 2 giant Mastiffs. And I remember thinking, you know what? I have never had a boring moment around Cat Williams, and this is not going to be the first.
Especially with some kind of Scarface type scenario going on the front lawn.
2 bull mastiffs.
In cages. Mm-hmm. So it continues.
So Cat met us in the driveway and escorted us inside. So there were 2 rather imposing looking men in the corner. And then my boyfriend Randy says, the line of the night, that guy looks like Suge Knight. To which I said, that's because it is.
At what point I would have been like, oh, come on, baby. Let's go.
Let's get the fuck out of
here. Go.
The color drained from Randy's face, which was my cue to, of course, make things worse for him.
Yeah, she goes.
So I turned to Suge Knight and I go, Suge? Because you could pronounce his name that way. So Kat started laughing and I go, Suge, what are you doing here? Oh, I have missed you. Suge Knight looked exactly as you might expect. Ill-fitting golf shirt, chains, jeans with mysterious bulges that did not look anatomical.
That's because they're firearms.
And a few measured words. He did not say anything. He then just walked over to a table and picked up a box of Popeye's fried chicken. So I did the slow clap. Really, Suge? You're a black man who's going to eat Popeye's fried chicken in front of a white comedian? Kat was...
Which, you got to respect her, because she'll give it to anybody.
Right.
She gives it to this guy. She'll give it to anybody. Oh, the story continues.
Kat was the perfect host. We had a great time hanging out, and when it came time to leave, he walked us out to the car. Right before getting in, though, I couldn't resist.
And now it's time for a tender moment with Suge Knight.
Suge, have you met my boyfriend, Whitey? I could tell my boyfriend was like, oh, God, we're so close. The finish line is right over there. Then I asked, Suge, do you know what just occurred to me? When was the last time you spooned with a lady? Kat chuckled and said, oh, I don't think that's what he's into. You know what? I said, I think it is. I think someone here is afraid to ask for a spoon. So I walk up to Suge Knight. I took his arms, wrapped them around me with my back to him, and said, just breathe, Suge. Enjoy something called tender, loving care.
She's fearless. I wouldn't get within arm's reach of that guy, let alone.
Well, Suge ain't never, well, I can't say that. He hung Vanilla Ice.
Yeah,
but he ain't about to fool with Cathy.
No, right.
That's a white woman.
So here the story goes on.
Then Suge, a man with communication skills that are unique, said, and I quote, normally I like pussy. I nodded. I said, I know. But tonight, you're going to have to be satisfied with gentle spooning from your friend Cathy. I looked at Suge as I got in the car, and I said, good night, Suge. And remember, call when you miss your little spoon. I know many people might be surprised that I wanted to engage with a convicted felon as somebody adorable. But I believe I changed him. And yes, since that night, he's been shot and arrested for theft and been involved in a fatal car accident that led to another murder charge. But I know it gets him through these trials. An affectionate redhead named Cathy Griffin, who opened his eyes to gentle spooning.
Yes, he did murder. That's right. He did murder somebody with a car one time.
I mean, one time.
Wait, he did it twice. Yeah, didn't he? Huh.
But you're in the studio with Suge right now, Darren.
Oh, right. The Suge of Chester.
No, I'm not. I'm damn sure not.
No, at all. No, I wouldn't come near him if that was the case. But yeah, 4 out of 4 train tickets to Cathy Griffin's celebrity run-ins from A to Z. Definitely, if you're looking to just have a few chuckles, because that's all I did the whole time, just chuckle. Especially when she involved stories with her mother. Her celebrity friends love her mother, who just is clueless sometimes when it comes to celebrities. So she was telling the story about Andy Garcia, and then so she gets her mother started. Mom, ask him what he's been in that you've seen. And so Andy Garcia starts running. I've been in The Godfather 3. His mother's looking at her. Oh, no. What else you been? Making him run down his whole IMDb page. And he's getting nothing from her.
You ain't seen none of my movies, lady.
Oh, wait. Then, he finally got her when he said, I've co-starred with Sean Connery. She was like, now that I know. What movie was that? What movie? The Untouchables? Gotcha. All right.
Now I know you.
Why didn't you say Sean Connery to begin with?
Right. Starting with you. I don't know you.
So, with that said, we're going to go back to, I got off track for a second, just back to, because you said the booger sugar, P. Right. You're talking about the booger sugar. Actually, 5 West Point cadets who were on spring break in Broward County, Florida. There you go, the home of the booger sugar.
Yeah, I don't know what picture this is.
Well, it's a dude in a suit, right? Looks like a hazmat suit. Five of them OD'd, and five of them OD'd on fentanyl-laced cocaine.
Damn.
Tried to get a little booger sugar on spring break. Why not? We in South Florida.
Damn.
And yeah.
Who is lacing their cocaine with fentanyl? And why are you doing this?
Nice. Well, you alluded to it before last week when you said...
No, that's not the idea of cocaine. Who can die from cocaine?
Right.
Cocaine is cocaine. Heroin is the drug that you could die from.
Okay.
Ain't nobody ever snorted no cocaine and the motherfucker died and said, shit, give me that shit. No. Now, heroin is different. I can do it different. I can shoot it up differently. Like, I don't understand that. Who in their right mind is lacing their cocaine with fentanyl unless you are trying to kill someone?
Yeah, a hazmat team, as you see here, pictured here, hazmat team, if you're watching, if you're listening, a hazmat team tested the powder material and found that it was laced with fentanyl, and then 6 of the cadets were there. 4 OD'd right away. The 5th, after she made the call, then she started experiencing symptoms of OD.
I'm not laughing at the people dying.
No, they're fine. They're fine. They're fine.
They didn't die?
They're fine. They're fine.
All right. Okay.
So you can laugh.
All right. Listen, they didn't OD. They just had an extreme high that didn't want to yield. Hold up.
Oh my goodness.
You can't. I don't understand. But there it is. That's why. Right. You can definitely. They in the hazmat suits. Don't nobody want to touch the fentanyl.
Nobody, exactly.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah. Fentanyl. The fentanyl is a hell of a drug.
It's a hell of a thing.
Right.
And so with that said, don't you know? Recently in Montgomery County, 2 Montgomery County doctors that were accused of conspiring with a New Jersey woman, and they were running essentially a pill mill. The woman ran halfway houses, and these 2 doctors, she would send her people or her residents in her halfway houses get these prescriptions from the doctor. The doctors would write the prescriptions for these people that they've never even seen, and then they bring the filled prescription back to her. She takes them and then runs it on the street. Yeah, sounds pretty cut and dry, right?
Yeah, she needs to go to jail.
She needs to go to she got charged. It doesn't say about her.
30 fucking years, bro.
These doctors, by the way, after an 11-day trial, they got acquitted.
Yeah.
They got acquitted.
Of course.
Yeah, ain't that something?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They didn't do anything wrong.
They on the street, yeah.
As long as you ain't take no money for it. They can't prove that you took any money for it.
Okay. There you go.
You know what I mean?
So,
you didn't know. I didn't know I was doing anything wrong.
Okay.
The person, the pharmaceutical rep told me to write the prescriptions.
So they did convict the woman, Evelyn Smith of Camden. She was running group homes in Philadelphia.
Yep.
And so they charge her on possession with intent to deliver controlled substances and filing a false medical assistance claim in connection with incidents that occurred between 2015 and 2019.
Damn.
So, yeah. Oh, that brings us, that happy little note, that brings us to the end of our first block of the D Train with Darren DeVoue on CMPRadio.net. Don't forget, if you miss any of CMPRadio.net's content, you can catch up on it on CMPRadio.net YouTube or Facebook page. And don't forget to like and subscribe and recommend to a friend, please.
Yeah, subscribe to the page. It's $4.99. With $4.99, you get that beautiful green badge that's right there on Leslie Alyssa's mom Wilson's page. Listen, subscribe to the page, man. We have a ton of things we're about to drop and launch, and yeah, only subscribers will be able to see it.
Right. Premium content.
Premium content.
I like it. There you go. Coming up on our next block, we're going to talk about more guns, meaning less gun safety, and a flashing on social media. We talked about that before. That can get you in some real big situations. You're on the D Train with Darren DeVoue on CMPRadio.net.
We are not going to intentionally destroy one of our own trains, not when we can still stop it.
We are not ramping down. We're just getting started. Nothing stops this train. Nothing.
How are we going to handle this? I mean, this train's en route to pass through some highly populated areas.
700 level attitude. Heart of the Italian
Pete.
Yo.
Last week we talked about that documentary Dope, right?
Yes.
And did you get a chance to catch any of it all?
No, but I'm going to watch it today.
There was this Atlanta-based stick-up boy, and his name was T-Bone. And no, I'm not making that up.
Right.
All right, but T-Bone was showing how sometimes he stalks his prey. And this is a clip of it right here. We got an audio clip of it right here as he's sitting there looking at his phone, checking out some stuff on the internet.
And social media is a motherfucker, man. This motherfucker right here flexing Rolex, bands, drinking lean, you feel me, weed. You know he got something else. This video right here is very tempting. This video right here has me do a little bit more homework on this cat. You feel me? Find out where he at and get all that.
Get all that. My man. You watching, you know how you see these young boys all the time on social media showing off all the money they got stacked up and whatnot. Right. Meanwhile, this cat is looking like,
I mean, you're going to throw him a surprise party. Like, literally. You feel me? I'm definitely throwing him a surprise party tonight.
Thank you, but I need to know where that oncoming train is.
It's the D train with Darren DeVoue.
Your engine, but it's my damn train, all right?
Yes, it is your
I'm
train.
the damn conductor.
That's true.
Back on our second block on the D train. Welcome back aboard. Coming up in this block, we're going to talk about another Pokemon scam with the cards, man. Also drawbridges. Drawbridges, we're going to finish off later this block. We're going to talk about some drawbridges. And in our third block, though, we got a very, very short list for P's Weekly Hero. Although, looks like Stevie J is already... Stevie J is already...
Stevie J definitely won.
Our next, they're going to be playing for second place. Don't forget, if you miss any of cmpradio.net's content, don't forget, go to the YouTube or Facebook page. Also, check out our sponsors like LeBron Construction for all your home and remodeling needs, kitchen, bathroom, flooring, roofs. Hit up LeBron Construction, LLC. He's licensed and insured. So we're going to start off. We had a nice little laugh earlier in the first block. We had some entertainment talking about Kanye and whatnot, and Juicy Smouye, if you don't know who that is. But now we got to talk for a hot minute about some heavy stories. So I mentioned before I have a former student. Well, I used to teach. So this one former student, he's now serving time for murder. And so now there's another former student, not a former student of mine, but a former student and he's involved in this story. He's the 17-year-old who was shot by his brother accidentally in East Germantown last Saturday. He shot in the head. He died at the hospital. This took place on East Ashmead Street before 445. With a BB gun and a handgun. The 9-year-old picked up the handgun, believing it was unloaded, and pulled the trigger. And we talked before about, P has mentioned it before, like with all the stories that we talk about on the show, but gun safety and gun knowledge, like, why is this gun accessible to a 9-year-old? Why is it accessible to the 17-year-old even? Right. But the 9-year-old can get his hands on it, and I don't understand. Like, I mean, I had a bunch of CDs, right? You had your CDs, your cassettes, and you're like, damn. Or your phones even. Like, where'd I leave that? Where'd I leave it laying? You can't do that with firearms, people. What in the world? Oh, my goodness. And so, yeah. And there's some kids you look at, too. It's a shame of it because there's some kids you look at. Like, there's some kids that I looked at when I was teaching. I'm like, I don't know if that guy going to make it. You know, and then there are other kids, like, I looked at this kid and I was like, he might be all right. He'll be all right. And then turn around and something like this, a tragic incident in the home with a sibling. Oh, heavy. Which moves us on to our next story. Damn. Even more. Did you hear about this? This took place in Chester County. The brother, a 4-year-old boy, he accidentally shot and killed himself in Chester County. And now his older brother, his 18-year-old brother, is facing charges. District attorney said Lara Ortiz left a loaded Glock pistol on a table in his unlocked and open bedroom. This took place in Coatesville. Investigators said his brother, Roman Aguilera Ortiz, found the gun and shot himself. This took place on February 28th. Lara Ortiz, the older brother, is charged with offenses that include involuntary manslaughter and endangering the welfare of a child. But again, why are these things are just everywhere now, man? I don't know. Like, it's hard for me to process, but
it's not the gun's fault.
No, but they're everywhere. Not the gun. I get it.
We as a community have to stop being scared of the gun, right? And teach education.
Okay.
Majority of the things that happen is because everyone has a gun and they have it, and maybe you have it and you're not supposed to have it. You feel me? Or maybe you have it and you don't have your license to carry. You have to teach how important it is to put that gun up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't know or they're not aware. Trust me, when that gun went off and he found his brother shot, he was hurt. Trust me,
definitely.
When that 9-year-old shot his brother and seen his brother's brains can't come out of his head, he was hurt. Like, instantaneously, we have lost too many young men and women
so young
playing with guns, BB guns, soft air pellet guns, the gel guns, all of these things. They're toys. A real gun with a real bullet is not a toy. You know what I mean? So if we're not teaching our children how to handle guns, then there's no question as to why they do the things that they do with the gun.
Okay. So there it goes back to what we were saying.
Before you get your license, you have to learn how to drive a car, right?
Right.
If you don't know how to drive a car, you're going to get into accidents, right?
Right.
You're going to crash your car. It's the same thing with a gun.
Oh, except it could be a lot worse.
No, it's the same. You can
kill
hit people.
You
can kill people too. Like, it's the same exact thing. But you have to take lessons to get your license. Someone has to teach you how to operate the car. Someone has to teach you how to operate a gun. I can't wait to take my son this summer. Right?
Okay.
We going to the gun range. He needs to understand how to operate a gun.
Right.
Right. How important it is to know what this gun can do. How important it is to know how much power you now have. You are literally God with that gun in your hand. Because you can take somebody's life for nothing.
Okay.
Somebody can hurt you, you take their life. Somebody can rape your girlfriend, you take their life. Somebody can talk to your girlfriend, you can take their life. Somebody can insult you can take their life. Is it necessary to use this gun for any of those reasons? Maybe the raping. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And even then you don't have to shoot them. Just pistol whip them. You understand what I'm saying? But let them know, listen, man, get down. Stand down. You feel me? You don't have to shoot everybody, but that's how we look at it.
That's right.
You know, without proper education, any weapon for good could be misused.
And we actually next week I got some stories like I cut off the news cycle at like Saturday. So we got something on education next week too. Cause
that's it.
Like how
because the gun manufacturers aren't closing down. They're not going anywhere. All those guns on that wall right now, they'll be back on the streets.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying that that's what they do, but literally, man, if they take 700 guns a month off the street,
they barely make it to scratch the surface.
You're not even scratching the surface. You know what I'm saying? That's what, damn near 40 guns a day. You feel me? Like, it's not gonna work. Like, we have to help our children, man. Our children are crying. Literally, they're crying for us to help them. And if we're not trying to come up with wise and informative ideas to help our children, we're failing. We have failed. It's not, oh yeah, get the guns off the street. No, we were scared of guns at one point. The black community is scared of guns. Everybody's scared of it. Don't nobody want to teach anybody how to handle a gun, how to shoot properly. Oh, if I teach him, he's going to use it to kill. No, not necessarily.
Right, but teach, like you said, responsibility.
Responsibility. Nobody teaches how to drink responsible. Nobody teach, but they tell you, listen, if you get caught driving drunk, you get a DUI.
Right.
If you teach your children how to deal with all the problems and all the things that pop up in life, how they handle it, it could change. You feel me? Like, but we're not here. We're not here for that. We're not tuned into that. You know what I mean? We want to say the guns are bad, so when the kid gets a gun, he wants to hide it from his parent. Then he leaves it somewhere, and his little brother picks it up.
Right.
and dust itself off. Sad.
Speaking of senseless deaths, I'm sure this was national news, if not international. Gerald Brevard, the 30-year-old, he was wanted in New York and D.C. He had shot 5 homeless people, killing one. He's charged with first-degree murder in connection with the death of 54-year-old Morgan Holmes, who was found shot and stabbed inside a burning tent in Washington this month. Brevard has not been formally charged in the other Washington shootings or the New York cases. He was identified by this footage here, somebody that knew him, as well as social media posts. Damn, social media. These shootings took place earlier this month. On March 8th, a man was wounded just before 1:30 in the morning. Surveillance video captures the man yelling, "No, no, no, please don't shoot," after a gunshot is fired, court documents said. The video shows the suspect a few minutes after the shooting sitting on the curb about a block away and playing music from a mobile device. Like, what in the world?
And he will say he's helping to clean up the streets.
Right. And then
I'm taking the homeless out of here.
And you know, that was in one episode of the first 48. Like, this guy was going around just shooting these poor homeless people. Like, damn, they ain't got it hard enough having to sleep on the street, but now you got to worry about some catch. I mean, rolling up and just ending it all.
He's homeless.
Like, oh, this Brevard guy, you think?
I would think so.
Well, he was traveling. Well, he may be. He didn't. Yeah. He looks. I mean, he's traveling from New York to D.C. Right. I mean, not that means anything. People are plenty. They call it transient for a reason, you know. But yeah. So he went on the shooting spree. He's looking at charges of first-degree murder. I don't know about the report doesn't mention about the charges in the other shootings, but he was a busy bee because then on March 12th, police believe that Brevard traveled to New York City. And videos showed a man who investigators believe is Brevard at Penn Station around 3:30 a.m. on March 12th. You can't go anywhere in New York nowadays without getting on camera nowadays. So
I mean, that's the world we live in.
Yeah,
Cameras.
You can't go anywhere, but especially New York, it's after September 11th. Yeah. An hour later, 38-year-old man sleeping on the street in Manhattan, not far from the entrance to the Holland Tunnel, was shot in his right arm as he slept. Victim screamed, gunman fled. 90 minutes later, the gunman fatally shot another man in Soho. The man's body was found in a sleeping bag just before 5 p.m. Saturday. The police identified Brevard after a tipster who knew him called him and provided his name, telephone number, and Instagram profile.
Oh, he bragging about it. I'm cleaning up the streets.
Right. Brevard also posted photos on Instagram showing him wearing a black quilted jacket, like this one, similar to what he was worn by the suspect in the 2 shootings. Police also obtained phone records showing Brevard had been in Washington and New York City when the shootings occurred. Ballistic evidence has connected the 2 shootings, the shootings in the New York area and the Washington area. So those shootings are collected by ballistics, connected with his phone connects him with the location. He going to jail. He going to jail. He needs to be in jail. Oh my goodness. Our next story, counterfeit bills. I should have put this guy down for P's Weekly Hero. There was a guy in Willingboro, New Jersey, P. He was running a little counterfeit operation. What he would do is he would bleach $1 bills, make them look like printing images of $100 bills. He would put those printed images on top of the bleach bills, and then the marker. So you go to a store, you pay with a bill, and they rub the marker over it to see if it's counterfeit or not. The marker wasn't able to detect these. So he was getting away with it for a minute there. So Hollis Forto, 38-year-old, he was a ringleader of the group. They traveled to Virginia in December of 2019 and January 2020 to get real money using the counterfeit currency. So, you got change for 100, this, that, and the other. You got real money back, and they got a fake bill. Forteau and his co-conspirators also used $100 bills to purchase items at retail stores, then return those items at another branch of the store in exchange for real money.
Right.
Forteau of Willingboro made 100 counterfeit notes by, like we said, printing the genuine images, or printing $100 notes. According to prosecutors, the group avoided stores that use scanning machines to detect counterfeit money because the scanners were much harder to fool than a pen. So court documents show that Forteau traveled with a printer and a laptop to make the fake cash. So he was printing it on the go. We just going to make stacks, baby. We literally are going to make stacks around here. Forteau was caught after the U.S. Secret Service found video of him on public social media account that showed him in a hotel throwing $1 bills in the air with a printer visible in the background.
Fucking idiot.
Oh my goodness,
he definitely wouldn't have been P's Weekly hero
with that one.
Right,
I'm a go-getter. Dumbass material all the way.
No, P.
No.
So he's looking at charges for more than $235,000 in counterfeit 100 bills were made with similar characteristics in the money Forteau made, and has been used across the country. So he was arrested in Philadelphia in September of 2021, and so he's facing his trial now. So, that's that. And he had the evidence with him in his car, too. He had his whole workshop in the damn car. Oh, my goodness. What are you doing, buddy?
Am I your man, Mr. Dumbass?
Dumbass and dumbass.
Oh, my goodness. So, what do we got next here, P? I lost my story list real quick.
Got a mom and I guess it's a mom, a son, and a cop.
Okay. Oh, a cop? Yeah. He should be a headshot.
No, not a headshot. It's a picture.
I mean, a headshot of a cop?
Three black people. But let's go to the headshot of the cop.
Okay. 3 black people. Those might have been my counterfeiters. That cop has been fired for perjury. My man Larry Krasner. Keep telling y'all, he's cleaning up the city. He's cleaning up the, how they prosecute, how they arrest.
He looks like a perjurist.
Yeah, a perjury. He looks like a perjurist. He's charged with perjury and giving false statements and official oppression after officials say he lied about a 2021 firearm arrest. This is the Officer Daniel Levitt. Well, he's about to be former Officer Daniel Levitt. In 2021, the Philadelphia PD Internal Affairs Department conducted an audit of citywide arrest of individuals for violation of the Uniform Firearms Act. And the investigation into the audit determined that Levitt violated departmental policy and committed criminal acts in reference to a firearm violation arrest that he made in April of last year. Levitt was a 12-year veteran of the Philly PD, and he was last assigned to the 39th District. So he'll be off the streets. Actually, P, we're going to keep that theme going, though, because then... Well,
you got a lot of police stuff up here.
Yeah.
This is Darren DeVoe's show, everybody.
Yeah. Right.
It has nothing to do with P. I'm just a guest.
So our next story is actually about the Connecticut State Police. They terminated 8 recruits. They terminated 8 recruits recently for cheating and plagiarizing on their exams. On their exams, yeah.
Oh, man.
Right. No. Well, I'm sure they can still apply to be cops elsewhere, but they were recruits, and now they're going to have to look elsewhere. They had a pretty decent job looking them in the face. Oh, man. So, Pete, would you say, Pete, that ain't nothing? But to me, listen, that's where they start. Like cheating ass Tom Brady. It starts with recording practices and then keeps getting escalated from there. I don't know. The next police story actually is, because I always make jokes about, we talked before about police misconduct when they're beating on suspects, etc. And so I always made a joke that, man, if I was in charge of the finances of a city, I'd have to attend every police shift meeting. Like, yo, I know y'all having y'all fun beating on the suspects and whatnot, but that gets expensive for the city. Could affect your pension plans. All right, can we cut that out on behalf of the dollar, if nothing else? So I actually came across this Washington Times article this week that put a number value on charges of what cities pay out in terms of police misconduct. The billions with the B. Yeah. High billions. Right. Yeah. Like, this is expensive, people. Yeah. Like, not only is it a disappointment, like, you're disappointing society in two ways. You're taking from them because you're taxpayers. You know, this could be money that could be used on so many ways to improve society.
We don't care about
that. I care about knocking this dude's teeth out right now if he's sitting on a car.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. So yeah. That's it. I will hope that moving forward, as they start to hear numbers, maybe if they put it in terms of that, in terms of numbers, not just the human cost, because like you said, Pete, nobody cares about black individuals that are beaten by police. Apparently they had it coming. But if they put out a dollar numbers and whatnot, you see how these people freak out about property taxes. Maybe they'll start freaking out about that. You guys got to stop beating on them. It's expensive. Our next story, this fella, he ran a lot of COVID relief was going on out there. And so this guy, Dublin, Georgia man, he's got 3 years in prison because he obtained a coronavirus relief loan under false pretenses. And then he used $57,000 of that to, we've mentioned it before with Jake Paul, you got to catch them all. He bought a Pokemon card for $57,000. Oh, this is Vinith I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's 31-year-old. He pleaded guilty in October to a single count of wire fraud. Prosecutor said in the legal filing he submitted false information to the U.S. Small Business Administration when applying for the COVID relief loan for an entertainment services business that he ran. He received $85,000. And then spent $57,000 on the Pokemon card. Now, here's the thing. The Pokemon card's probably not even worth that because, they have these ratings for these cards. And according to the report I read, that card is not a 10. It's a 9.5. So it reduces the value significantly. Like, only the 10s are the high, obviously. Only the 10s are the high-end cards that collect a lot of high bids. So there's that. Poor fella. Our next story, we talked about guns. The son of a former Arkansas lieutenant governor and the grandson of a former governor. His last name is Rockefeller, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're related in that way as well. All that old money. But he was sentenced Friday to 52 months in federal court on one count of transfer of a machine gun. He did ask for a lighter sentence.
Of course.
All right, but it was a 3D printed machine gun, which is pretty friggin' scary to me. Like these printers, I mean, you could use these things. We talked about a story where they 3D printed a neighborhood. Now that's using 3D printers to do the Lord's work right there. But like this, printing up guns and what have you, like, oh man. We talked about repossession, P. I've never had anything repossessed.
Oh, well, good for you.
I know, right? That's because I've never had anything that valuable enough for somebody to come back looking for it. That's all that means. This Italian police, they seized a yacht owned by Russia's richest man, which I was surprised to find out because I thought Putin was Russia's richest man. He's been robbing that country blind for years. Gennady Timchenko, another Russian billionaire with ties to Putin, no doubt. His yacht, it's how long is this thing? 65 meters. Oh, I'm sorry. This is America. 215 feet. Lady M, she was impounded by at the northern port of Imperia. And so this is part of the sanctions that are labeled onto oligarchs and everybody with close ties to Putin due to Russia's invasion of the Ukraine. The Italian media says that Yumchenko owns a villa worth some 66 million euros or $72 million on the coast of the Mediterranean. And they're probably going to seize that too. He made a fortune in oil trading, and has been described as one of Putin's closest associates. So then they're snatching up your stuff. I lost this one story piece. Speaking of yachts, I didn't know yachts could be stolen. Somebody stole a guy's yacht, not just like in this story where the police repossessed it, but somebody. Well, not somebody. I'm sure you need a few people to steal a yacht. You need a crew, but yeah.
That's a big ass boat.
That's a big old boat. That's like a naval warship type
size. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, that precisely.
It has a little small boat too.
Oh yeah, to make port. Yeah, so I'm sure they anchor out far away from port and then ride that little small boy in there.
Wow.
Oh man,
that looks like a Navy ship.
Our next story. This is a little off here. Trust your doctors. Go to them for advice. You need their opinions, you know. But this doctor here, a Wisconsin dentist, he is in trouble for actually breaking people's teeth intentionally, then coaxing them into getting some surgery to fix said problem. He'd send the broken tooth X-ray into their insurance company as a before picture, so then that way he could bill the insurance for the procedure. He did this. He ran this scheme. This is Scott Cherbali of Wisconsin.
10, 15 years.
He ran it from 2015 to 2019, and then he sold his practice. In late 2020, he was indicted on several charges, and on Friday, this past Friday, federal grand jury convicted the former dentist of 5 counts of healthcare fraud, 2 counts of making false statements, and related to healthcare matters. But how? That's heinous, man. He just, what a blasé attitude towards their teeth.
Worry about it. The guy don't need his fucking teeth.
Anyway, what is that, though?
Vicious.
Yeah. And he made millions, according to the report. He billed more than $4.2 million for crown procedures between 2016 and 2019. Now, what happened was he caught the attention because he got greedy. So let's say he performed over 1,000 crowns each in 2015 and 2016. From 2017 to 2019, he performed 700 more per year. Now, the problem with that is that most dentists, he was going 60% higher than the average rate for crown dentals. Excuse me. So he faces a maximum of 10 years in prison for the healthcare fraud and 5 each on the false statement convictions. He's looking at some time, heinous individual. We mentioned it a couple of times in this show on social media, right? And so you're sitting there, you're bragging on social media with the money. We mentioned in the intro to this block, mentioned it to my man Counterfeiting Money. You're flashing money on social media. So there was a 24-year-old man in the Bronx, and he was flashing his money on social media. And then he wound up meeting this pretty brunette girl on Instagram. Yeah, she feeling me. She wanting this. And he's looking at her like, oh, she's down with it. So I'm sure he probably used this pickup line too.
It's chess, it ain't chess.
Oh, shoot, wrong drop.
I felt compelled to tell you something. You have an absolutely breathtaking hiney. That thing's good. I want to be friends with it.
So she decided to let him be friends with it, and she came over his spot. Now, here's where we run into a problem. She actually brought some friends with her. They forced their way into their apartment. They tied him up, tortured him, and then over a course of time, they burnt him And this is Valerie. Oh, by the way, this is 22-year-old Valerie Rosario. Excuse me. And then over the course of 24 hours, they bound and gagged him, beat him, burnt him, stabbed him several times. And then they called his brother, demanding $100,000 in ransom on a FaceTime call. And that's all according to the Manhattan prosecutor's office. And so, yeah, she's facing charges of kidnapping and attempted murder. Because by the time authorities got to him, he was barely clinging to life. The man's unnamed, by the way. She had 3 accomplices, and she came over at 1 o'clock in the morning. Oh, man. Or no, he went to her spot. Excuse me, I messed that up. Sorry, folks. He went to her spot. But either way, yeah. Listen, no flashing on social media, all right? New rule, people, all right? Public service announcement from the D-Train. No flashing on social media. No flashing vacation pics, anything like that. Also, in our next story, though, we might have a new rule after this story, though, because this here is Cathy Stevens. She's an 82-year-old woman, right? Little sweet old lady. She's also known as the Hugging Bandit, and she's being held in jail on more than a dozen charges from Clearwater Police and other agencies across the Tampa Bay area. What she would do, what Miss Stevens would do is she just walk up to you. You know, she's just a sweet little old lady. She walks up on you and gives you a little hug that you never even asked for, right? And a sucker like me would have fell for that too. Like, oh, yeah, sure, whatever. Now go away. While she was giving that unwanted hug, she was also picking people's pockets.
I was fun for slamming her mitt.
So the Hugging Bandit, by the way, she would also pretend to know them, though. So Pierre, no.
I don't know you, white lady. Where I meet you at?
Oh,
and don't be coming nowhere close to me.
Right.
She looked conniving.
She looked right. She looks off. Something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Get back.
No, back the fuck up.
Oh my goodness.
Before I get my girlfriend to knock you out.
She can do it. She's a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of messed up, this story involves an 83-year-old woman too. These 80-year-old women were getting it in this week. So what happened was this woman, her name was Valerie Harvey, and she's an 83-year-old. Now she went shopping. She's shopping, and you see it in the picture. There's the circle, the wheelchair that she was shopping with is circled. You know, little old lady using the motorized wheelchair. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Except the problem was that Miss Harvey had the severed leg of her friend sitting in that chair while she was shopping.
Say what?
Yes, she had she had the severed leg of her friend wrapped in plastic in the chair with her as she was shopping. Her friend, Patricia Layden, 68-year-old, was reported missing on March 2nd.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, Harvey dismembered the corpse. She's charged with...
cut her up.
Yeah, she followed your advice.
She followed my advice.
Except for the part where you don't go shopping.
She don't go shopping with the leg.
Well, maybe she was going to go dump it, and then she just forgot, you know.
In the chair?
She had it in the chair with her. She meant to go drop it off. But you know what? First, I'm going to swing past here and pick up no. Now, okay, it's a messed up story. So keep in mind, Harvey has served 50 years in prison already for the separate slayings of 2 other ex-girlfriends.
Hold on, pause. She's how old?
She's 83.
She already killed 2 girlfriends?
Already killed 2 girlfriends.
And they let her home?
She had to do this early enough. Like, this is her thing. Like, you know.
She spent 50 years in jail.
Or between the 2 killings, yeah.
And they let her out.
They say slayings. But she might have talked her way, you know, out, like you said, yeah.
She's too old to be out. And she can only do what she knows how to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a certain age where it's like, can you learn any new skills? No, you can't. If you're 83 years old, 82, 81, 79, 78, 76, and they're letting you out of jail, you're going to do the same thing all over again.
Oh, man. And like Jigga said, you can't change a player's game in the ninth inning. You know? So, yep, looks like she's going back, and she's going to be there to stay, probably.
Yeah, they shouldn't have let her out.
Oh, man.
I mean, they let her out, like, put her in a nursing home or something like that. Like, you know, they've closed down these state hospitals that analyze you and look at you and they just put you in jail thinking that you're getting the help in there, but you're not getting no help in there.
Right.
You ain't got no help for nobody in jail. They give you medicine until you go back to your cell.
And that's the thing, too. A lot of these, like, you know, I always joke, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You know, all those, did you ever, I'm sure you never saw that, P. Okay, so it's based on a book, but in the book, it takes place in a, you know, what we used to call a sanitarium, asylum, et cetera. But, and one of the characters, he faked being crazy so that he could be there instead of in jail. But in there, you know, like, there were actually affected people. Now, the cast of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, they're out in the street now. They're not in that asylum anymore. They're all amongst us, walking around us every day now. Oh, speaking of madness, P. Oh, man. The feds, so this guy, Jamel Thompson, right? Jamel Thompson was about to be released from federal prison.
I don't have this picture.
Oh, you should have a picture of a prison. All right. It's a federal prison it's federal prison in Michigan. And so that's Milan Federal Prison, excuse me. So he was supposed to he had a couple of hours till his release, you know. But then an FBI's agent said that Thompson threatened to kill a prison guard and the officer's family and bragged there was nothing officials could do about it to stop him. So prosecutors unsealed a new criminal case Friday, hours before he was about to walk out of jail, and said, hang out with us for a little more. So now he's looking at 6 more years in jail for threatening the corrections officer's family.
Oh, my God.
For threatening the corrections officer and his family. Yep. So he's making another initial appearance in federal court in Detroit. So he was freed in February 2020, but was back in prison after that, after violating his supervised release program, and that was due to possessing drugs. So I don't think he was going to follow through. He was just talking a little sugar honey.
Hey, he might have followed through.
Oh yeah, you never can tell, and that's why they didn't take any chances with it. But I'm saying, right before you about to get out of jail, though.
Well, they say weeks
Go
start.
to jail, you want to go home?
You want to go to jail? You want to go home? He ain't going back in
They say
jail.
the week start riots, man. Yeah, man. And the strong move quiet.
Right? Keep your mouth shut.
Keep your mouth shut.
Dummy. Oh, my goodness. Drawbridges, P. Do you ride on
I crossed over two drawbridges yesterday.
Really? Where?
I was heading over to Cowtown.
Oh, okay. That's you know what? And that's one of the things I'm learning being now a New Chester local. Like when they say Cowtown, I'm like, oh, that's in Jersey. Okay, I know what you're talking about. No, I don't know really, but I need to go to Cowtown.
Nah, ain't nothing over there.
Okay.
When we were younger,
okay,
that was a conversation I was having. When we were younger, it was dope to go over there. You could buy a fake chain, get a fake jersey. You know what I mean?
That was like a 52nd Street for Chester, huh?
You know, like now that you're older, you're like, I'm not spending my money on this stuff. This stuff is fugazi. I'm not buying a chain. I don't want a gaming system. I'm just here for the. So basically, most people when you reach a certain age, you just go there for the food.
Okay.
You get
got good food?
a cheesesteak pretzel.
Okay.
Cheesesteak on top of a pretzel. Maybe you get funnel cake.
All right, always a winner.
You get some rotisserie chicken.
Yeah,
barbecue sauce. You know, but you're not buying anything unless you have a restaurant and you buying cups and plates and different things like that, right? But yeah, when I was younger, it used to seem like it took forever to get over there. My grandma would drive over there. My grandma would drive over there. I'm like, oh my God, man, we still riding. Now It's like, oh shit, we're here. Then I noticed that they had a big cowboy. For some strange reason, when I was younger, it just seemed like it was bigger than what it actually is. You know? And I pull up on it, I'm like, that ain't the same.
That's funny,
cowboy.
right?
That
Right.
thing used to be so big.
They shrunk it. They stuck it in the dryer. right.
But I mean, that's what age, man. Time is it becomes shorter because you understand.
Right.
You know, like, and then things that you thought were bigger or smaller now. It's like,
more
damn.
perspective. Yeah.
Everything as you grow older, man, things shrink and time becomes crucial.
I've never been to Cowtown, but I think I'm gonna go there next week.
Yeah. It's open
I'm
Tuesday and
out.
Saturday.
Okay.
Shout out to everybody that's over there. I'm not knocking nobody that's over there or nobody that buys their jewelry from there. They got masks. You get your hot dogs. You feel me? Just go. It's a nice family situation.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
Right.
So I'm gonna cross a drawbridge to get there, right?
Yeah.
Can I ride my bike over there?
Your motorcycle?
No, bicycle.
Oh, you will ride a motorcycle across the Commodore
bicycle.
Barry Bridge?
Oh no. The Commodore Barry is a drawbridge?
No, I'm just saying it's across the Commodore Barry Bridge.
I can't cross that on
No. But then when you get there, there's like little drawbridges. You can see it.
Okay.
It's like one that it just lifts, slam up.
Okay.
Right. It's not
not an opening drawbridge, but
right. Why you talking about drawbridges? What's up?
Oh well, man. There was this 43-year-old drawbridge tender in West Palm Beach, Florida. Her name is Artusia LaFay Polk. And she just got arrested by U.S. Marshals. Now, what happened was she was tending a drawbridge a couple of weeks ago, and she wound up causing the death of a 79-year-old woman who was walking her bike along the.
She was walking her bike?
She was crossing the drawbridge. Now, the drawbridge allows for pedestrians, but there's a warning siren that's supposed to go off.
Oh.
Apparently, the signal, and she's supposed to sound the signal as well as go out and physically
look.
You're right. They're saying that she didn't do either. Like she was asleep.
So you saying there was a 79-year-old woman that fell?
Like she opened that bridge
and the lady
fell 50 feet to her death. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And then she they wound up using text that she exchanged with her supervisor. Because then she said, I think I just killed somebody.
Oh my God.
Then she, the woman, and then.
What did the supervisor say back?
The supervisor said that he tried to help her. He was like, listen, I know you're upset and everything, but you know, from the supervisor to Paul, you have to write it up step by step, which you did, okay? Till the time you were told someone fell.
She said, I think I killed somebody.
Yeah.
You bastards.
So
I killed Kitty.
She actually tried to hold on for a minute, but the lady lost. She tried to grab onto something, but she couldn't. She lost her grip after a minute. Wound up going down. Yeah. So she's looking at some involuntary manslaughter, negligent, or no, here charged with manslaughter by culpable negligence. So. We'll do a follow-up on that when it happens. But speaking of drawbridges, right? I just saw this video this week where this idiot, and this also took place in Florida. This guy, I don't know, man. He apparently thought he was in the Dukes of the Hazzards or something.
He tried it.
He tried the bridge. And you hear stories of people like sometimes trying that, and like things don't work out too well.
All right.
This guy, he wound up living, but here's the video real quick. Now, what you're going to see is in the background, you'll see the drawbridge arm start to close, and this guy on his motorcycle, which has a trailer on it, by the way, in the rain, and then he goes around the arm and still keeps trying to go up the drawbridge. Go ahead and roll it, P.
Mr. Dumbass, I can bring a lot to Dumbass and Dumbass.
Yeah, that was some dumbass shit.
That was some, he's lucky. He wound up sliding back, but the motorcycle, he jumped off, or either he fell off the motorcycle, but the trailer went off, the motorcycle and the trailer went off, wound up hanging off the bridge. So I'm sure he's going to be looking at charges for that.
Why?
Why? Wait, he said, hold on, let me check to here. Let's see real quick.
What charges could he possibly face?
Daytona Beach mainstay. No, video obtained by the journal. Yeah. No.
How would he face any charges? He tried to kill himself.
You think that was what it was? Why he went around that arm? Or I think he was just thought he could seen too many action movies. He thought he could go around it. Oh. All right. So, all right, let's talk, folks. Folks, let's talk about, sometimes you're grown folks and sometimes, you're sitting there and you might be talking to your significant other or whatever, and you might feel a little urge while you're in an inappropriate place. But you contain that urge, right? Well, a substitute teacher, 58-year-old Richard Dunn, and this is... Huh?
The next picture is of the receiver.
No, oh, really? The last picture, I don't have something for Richard. Oh, well, actually, Richard Dunn, well, real quick before we end this block. Richard Dunn, substitute teacher, 58-year-old, well, former substitute teacher, February 1st, he was videotaped by a student, as these students, and I don't know what this dude was thinking. Well, one, just doing the action at all, but around these kids, this is what they do. They pull up these things and just start recording. He was pleasuring himself at his desk while looking at the female students. He was sitting there pleasuring himself. Yeah.
They're fun to look at, aren't they? I think it's pretty obvious they were made to look at. Oh, sure, they have brains and they do stuff. Some of them do important stuff like run banks and teach math. But I really don't like that kind. I like the looking kind.
And like looking at them and, oh my God.
No, that was not funny.
What? No, what?
No, I have 6 daughters.
Oh, yeah. 6?
6.
You got to start in 5 plus 1 off the bench. Go ahead, P.
I would have fucked him up.
Well, I'm sorry, P, but what's also funny is he was substitute teaching at Nutley High School. But yeah, definitely. I mean, like, even if I was a male, if I was a male in the classroom, I would have fucked him up. At the very least, like, yeah.
Like how
wrong
are
with you?
What?
Yeah. And then when Dunn noticed the students looking at him and pointing and laughing, he asked them, "Are you guys all right?" The documents say. Dunn was charged with endangering the welfare of a minor for the February 1st acts incident and 4 counts of endangering the welfare of a minor and 1 count of lewdness for an incident that happened on March 10th.
How was he still to school?
That's what I was trying to figure out. How did it get this far?
They need substitutes, I guess.
Yeah, right? How about it? I mean, are they that desperate? Damn. Huh. You know what? I might substitute teach again. And without choking my chicken at the desk, too. I thought, you know what? I used to feel bad when I was teaching and I would check my phone or something like that. Compared to this guy, I'm good. All right? So with that, you want to just skip into the last block, P?
Man, let's go.
Let's do it. So yeah, man, I'm sure y'all talked about this on OG and Uncle P in the morning. Uncle P and OG in the morning. But the receiver looked to strip the Chester City councilman of his financial responsibilities with the city. That is due to the councilman, and the councilman is
William Morgan.
What do you think, man? Financial malfeasance? It's saying he was incorrectly paying police officers and firefighters $750,000 in internal revenues and IRS penalties, and the purchase of $1,500 in gift cards. Also, though, the city council gave themselves $10,000 raises. That always irks me. I mean, I know I'm not from here, but any place where, like, when I hear about senators doing that, like, that's just why. How did that rule even come into place? Because people are always people are people. They're going to always give themselves a raise. If I could, I'd give myself a raise every 10 minutes. You know, like, you know what? I deserve another $1 for that just right there. I just hurt my foot. That's another raise. I need another raise. But yeah. So, I see this look. Like this, it's a disappointing story so far, but P, you have this look on your face. I can see it from behind the glass.
Yeah, it's when in Romans, you do as the Romans do.
Right.
Right? And there's nobody watching or nobody making sure. And I'm not accusing William Morgan or any of the councilmen or councilwomen of anything. It's just, if we're trying to fix a city, it takes everybody working in compliance with the things that the state has put down. If you're not working with the receiver's office, if you're making it harder on the receiver to do his job, then automatically he has to do this, take it to court. I watched that whole court process.
Yes, it was available on YouTube.
It was a 4-hour situation, and it was like a whole bunch of back and forth. Oh, well, did you do this or did you do that? Or did you? I'm tired of repeating the question. Right? It was a question on insurance policy. Right? Whether or not they were on this executive insurance policy. Whether or not that was an insurance policy that was discontinued. Why was there only 7 people? Him, the mayor, the solicitor, who, by the way, is a lawyer, right, and has a great law firm out in media. Why are you on this medical right when you have your own situation, obviously. Tons of fucking money? Like they're just situations where it's like you didn't need to be there. You feel me? But I guess you're there because you are in support of the situation, right? So it's just it's sad that we have to take it this far. Things have to go this far for things to change, man. And, you know, if you're not doing the right thing, then you're doing the wrong thing.
Thank you.
And it's not beneficial to the city of Chester, right? But who will know? We wouldn't know any of this stuff.
How about it? If not, how about
if it wasn't for, it would just be speculation and people out here speculating. And listen, I know the people that were in control before the Democrats took over, we're doing the exact same thing. You know what I mean? Right. It's like, why are you coming down hard on us now? Well, now is because, you know, there was nobody there to cover for them. See, when the people that were in control before, they had people outside covering for them. You feel me? Which
sort of
allowed
like the
them
drug dealer with the informant coppage.
Right. It just it allowed for shit to happen. Now, you don't really have that backup. You know, you don't have $6 million, $7 million, $10 million, $20 million coming in from, you know, whatever, however it was coming in before. It's not coming in now. So, you know, now people are going to look. And when they see you with your hand in the cookie jar, you feel me? Like, well, they were doing it. Well,
that don't. What that got to do with anything?
It doesn't work. When I get caught, and I say, man, there's 7 other people out here doing the same thing, right? That was never. I never thought about that. I got caught. So, yep, you're right. You caught me. Yeah. What's the penalty? You know what I mean? So, I think if we look at it from that point of view, it's a ton of people that aren't doing the right things, so that the city can grow and it can come back. And there are tons of people that don't know what the right things are. So,
the receiver filed a order on March 2nd asking the judge to rescind the raises, and the city council actually filed, according to this article, or city officials said that they aren't going to comply with this March 2nd order, or the receiver's March 2nd order that he filed with the courts. Also, they said the receiver had also asked him to reverse an application for an economic development liquor license for a property partially owned by a city employee and a relative of the mayor. According to, and P had mentioned it before, the solicitors. And so on March 4th, court filing, the receiver maintained the city of Chester is running out of time. The city stands on the brink of bankruptcy. But for a federal rescue plan funding and $5 million emergency loan from the Commonwealth Department of Economic and Community Development, city would have run out of cash last year. The city's fiscal situation is just as precarious this year. So yeah, Chester owes a lot. Well, $37 million in missed pension payments and police pension fund, and has about 6 months of benefits left.
It's hard to understand budgeting and all those things, and like it's hard for me to understand how to run a radio station. So I know I have to get people that have experience and people that are smarter than me to help me do these things.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, a businessman is wise enough to know, any man is wise enough to know that he's not the smartest man in the room. You know what I mean?
Right.
And to bring in other smart people to help whatever he's doing thrive. I don't know who they've hired. I don't know who's in control of situations, but you know, never feel as though you're the smartest person in the room to get things done. Just get things done the best way you know how. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not judging anybody. I make my mistakes, and I've made my mistakes, right? And one thing I know is I've learned a lot from my mistakes, and I know what I'm not doing anymore. So.
Well, and you going back to what you said about the hand in the cookie jar. My thing is, I look at this particular cookie jar, and it's got a lot of crumbs in it, dude. Like, come on, man. Like, leave that cookie jar be.
Yeah, there's a lot of crumbs. There's a lot of crumbs in it, but there's also you can pull out the crumbs to turn them into full cookies, right?
And
they have little small cookies they serve now, right? So you know you can turn them into those little small cookies, but if your city is suffering, the school district, the city itself, there's no money, there's no there's how
Isn't
and
there a
why
little voice in
would
the head that
anybody
said, this is wrong?
want to take
right.
money from a situation where there is no fucking money?
Right.
So I don't know, man. I ain't judging nobody. I'm gonna let them do what they do, and I'm gonna let him figure out whatever he needs to figure out. The receiver he's been on, I've interviewed him a couple times, just talking about the things, the goal that he wants. Because there's a lot of people accusing people of things, and it's like, yo, we can get past the accusation part, because this is where we are. How do we fix it?
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm tired of who spilled the milk. I don't care who spilled the milk. Who spilled the milk, it doesn't even matter to me. How are we cleaning this up? What's the method to cleaning it up?
Right. Who's got a mop and some wipes around
right.
here?
Who's got the cloud? What are we doing to fix it? How can we fix it? Because I'm tired of living in the problem, bro. And that's basically what we do. We live in a problem long enough to the point where we don't feel as though we should fix it. We accept it. We become numb to it. And then it just plagues and continues to carry on. These buildings over town didn't just become as bad as they are right now. Right? This is 30, 40 years in the making. 30, 40 years ago, they weren't really running the city. So who was running the city? So who dropped the ball? Now let's make those people accountable, or let's fix it ourselves. Why can't we buy these buildings? Why can't we fix these buildings up? So, you know, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm focused on my shit.
All right. Our next door, Pennsylvania Water, American Water, excuse me. They had a last Sunday when we were on air, they lifted their boil water advisory for residents in Chester and Lancaster counties. They had issued the advisory after its Rock Run water treatment plant near Coatesville experienced an issue, which resulted in lower than normal chlorine residuals within the plant. So the water wasn't getting enough chlorine, so they told people to boil it. The notice applied to customers in Pennsylvania American's Coatesville system, which included City of Coatesville, Parksburg, and South Coatesville. Oh, really? There's a South Coatesville? Really? There is a South Coatesville? Focus, Darren. That always annoys me. Oh, they starting to split the towns up. You know what that's about? Mm-hmm. Ardmore, East Ardmore. Ardmore ain't big enough for one. Ardmore is barely big, and let alone East Ardmore, West Ardmore.
East Ardmore?
Yeah,
the West Ardmore?
Yeah.
So what? Which one the black people do?
Exactly. That was the whole point. Because when I was working out there, I was a receptionist at a law office, and that's when I started noticing these signs up. They were talking about. They were voting on it. And then, sure enough, they split up. This was, in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Wow.
Yeah. But you know how that, yeah. The boil water advisory is listed. And they're now saying, they hope, it doesn't say about tests, but if they're favorable or not. But I'm sure they were due to them lifting the advisory. What do we got next? Dang it. Let this phone close. And what we got next is, oh wait, I got it right here. Duh. Oh, speaking of boiled water, listen, Holmes, Pennsylvania. They were getting a water line fixed in the area, and then that's when they had some they were doing a sewer replacement. Yeah. And now they got some flooding there at Holmes in Delaware County, by the way. This is in the county. Crews reportedly disconnected the old drain, giving the water no place to go but onto the street. And the township has been notified. But so it doesn't sound like there's any sewage per se out there, but I don't know. Speaking of biological issues, a Florida biotech firm this week got the green light from the U.S. regulators to release. Now, I read two stories about this. One said $2 billion. One story in the USA Today said $2 billion. The NBC News website said $2 million. But either way, this company and what they're going to do is release genetically modified mosquitoes, either 2 million or 2 billion, but either way, genetically modified mosquitoes are going to be released in Florida and California.
And what are these mosquitoes going to do?
Now,
other mosquitoes?
Yeah, these are male, non-biting male mosquitoes that they're releasing. What they're looking to do is reduce the population because, by theory, these male non-biters will interact with these female biters. It's an invasive species of female mosquitoes. They're the Aedes aegypti mosquitoes. They say that this will mediate a reduction of the target population.
Why?
Because they're saying that once the males mate with them, any offspring that's produced will be non-biting. So there you go. They're trying to just breed them out. Why? But
what about the males that are already out here that aren't?
Right. They don't address it. Doesn't address that.
Right.
That's a good question too.
Right.
Yeah. So, given the growing, said the Oxitec, the company, given the growing health threat this mosquito poses across the U.S., we're working to make this technology available and accessible.
Yeah. All right. There you go.
We made significant progress during the pilot project last year. We look forward to continuing this important work during this year's mosquito season.
There's more COVID.
Oh, you think so? Hey, speaking of which, hey, how you got the vaccine? How you been feeling, man? You didn't do like Nicki Minaj's cousin's friends and have any swollen equipment or anything, did you?
No, my stomach has been crazy.
Okay. Since the
Yeah.
Okay. Could be that could be anything, though.
I probably got cancer.
Oh, stop. Oh, no, don't do that.
I'm ready to go.
Oh, my God.
You ever talk to somebody that just sound like that, and it's like, yo, what is wrong with you, man? Cheer up. Damn.
Oh, my goodness.
Nah, but I've been good.
Okay. That's what's up. So you're on the D train with Darren DeVoue on CMPRadio.net. But speaking of trains, they're proposing a new passenger rail that'll go along the Schuylkill River, created by the Schuylkill River Passenger Rail Authority. The aim is to create a long-standing passenger rail connecting Reading, Phoenixville, Pottstown, Norristown, and Philadelphia. My thing with the isn't there already the Norristown high-speed line? Or I guess they want to bring people directly into, but isn't it the regional rail? Like, I don't know. Anyway, that's just I don't know. The route will offer one-seat ride with no transfers, using an existing frail rate line, and will reach Philadelphia's 30th Street station using SEPTA's regional rail line. The new authority would also consider exploring other stops along the way to be determined. In all, the input, they're having public forums to get the input of communities in the 3 counties, Montgomery, Berks, and Chester County. And April 27th in Westchester, there will be a Zoom community meeting, and all these commissioners of the 3 counties are expected to vote on creating the authority. So it looks like this is going to be a go for now. But didn't L.A. have a railway to nowhere, like a wasted money, big money rail project that they never got off the ground? I can't recall.
Yeah, starting authority, and you can get all the money.
Right.
They never do any of the work.
Right. They just sit there and look authority.
Mm-hmm.
You will respect my authority.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Pete. So finally, we got to P's Weekly Hero, right? But we had just a short list. I mean, except for Stevie J.
Williams. I only see one picture up here.
Okay. Well, it's kids, and
right.
it's kids, right? But kids have, you got kids. I'm sure they say some cute things, some cool things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's been times where I've seen like very sad situations, and a kid has just come up and said something very poignant and meaningful right then.
Poignant?
Yeah. You like that, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, it was a P word for you. But so what this teacher did was, poignant means evoking a keen sense of sadness or regret. So what this teacher did was she started a little help hotline with her students. And so if you call this hotline, it's 707-998-8410. It's the help hotline, and what you're going to hear is advice from kids. Now
707 what?
707-998-8410. And what you're going to hear is this. And how can this not make
707?
I thought it was 7, or maybe it's 79. Hold on, LAP. Let me go back.
Damn, I want to hear the kids get it.
Oh, we were about to. Here we go. Oh, you want to hear the kids, kid? I can make that happen for you.
When you're feeling mad, you should take 3 deep breaths and think of things that make you happy. The thing that makes me happy is when, and I think of happy things will happen in the future, like going to a friend's house or a cousin's house. Bye.
If you're frustrated, just take 5 minutes off.
If you're frustrated, you can always go to your bedroom, punch a pillow, or cry on it, and just go scream outside. If you're nervous, go get your wallet and spend it on ice cream and shoes.
Yes.
If you feel mad or frustrated, you can do what you want to do best, or you can do flips on the trampoline.
If you feel mad, please just do something that you like. Do something that inspires you. Do something to make you feel better.
If you're sad or angry, go get a cookie, a smoothie, or an ice cream.
So there you go. Whatever situation you had, like calling up. So the number I see, P, is, what did I give you?
I don't know.
707-998-8410.
Yeah.
Didn't work? That's disappointing. Well, let's go back here and see. But yeah. So what you do is you call the number and you can press.
Welcome to Pep Talk.
There you go.
Art project by Westside School. Bienvenidos a Pep Talk, un proyecto creado por los estudiantes de Westside School.
Oh, they speak Spanish.
Got you.
That's definitely dope. That's what's up.
There you go. So that's why I figured they would, but I didn't realize Stevie J was a dark horse coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, Stevie J definitely, he's an honorable mention. But this is important, right? Because out of the mouth of kids, man, I know there have been times when I've been disappointed in what I've been able to do and my daughter or my son, even my little kids, right?
Right.
They'll call me, hey, Dad, what you doing? Like, nothing, just sitting there chilling, thinking about work. Why you always working? I said, because, I have to make money to feed the family. And my one daughter said, Dad, you don't have to make any money. I love you.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And it's just, just things that don't make sense, but it makes sense to them.
Right.
Right? I don't have to make money because she loves me. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be okay.
We'll figure it out, Pops.
Right, we'll figure it out.
We got
Dad.
that.
Like, just calm down. I got you. And so, yeah, that's definitely a dope situation.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And they're P's Weekly Heroes. Man.
They were. Come back from 20 points down. Right. There was this one little kid. I was assistant at a preschool one year, And this one kid, I was going through a breakup. Actually, no, I'll tell two quick ones. I was going through this one. Actually, both times were breakups. So I'm coming into the classroom.
That's why you don't have no kids.
Right. I'm in the kindergarten, and this one kid, Owen was his name. He was my man, too. He used to crack me up. But then Owen looks at me the one day. He just walks over to me and just hugs me. And I was like, thanks, Owen. What was that for? You looked like you needed a hug. And just walked off.
Right.
Then there was another time we were working with these third graders, and the kid goes, my ex, well, she was my ex then, but she used to come and pick me up at the school. But now she wasn't picking me up at the school. And this kid, Kylie, she was observant as all hell. Right. She goes, we're sitting there, we're doing a small group, and she stops doing her work and goes, Mr. DeVoue, are you okay? You're not going through a breakup or anything, are you? Then she goes, if you need to talk, I'm here. I'm good at these things.
Right.
And then she goes back to work.
I'm good at these things. Me and my mom talk about it all the time.
Right.
Out of the mouth of kids, man, I don't know. It just makes you feel like, whatever you're going through really isn't worth worrying about.
Right.
Or stressing about.
Because both times, spirits automatically lifted.
Automatically lifted, man.
Yeah.
So, I love my kids, man. Like, literally. Like, what they can change in me is important.
Oh, man. See, we started on a funny note, started the second block on a sad note. We're ending the show on a high note.
On a high note, yes, sir.
Very, as always. So, thanks for joining us as always. Coming up next on cmpradio.net is Holes to Hole with Born Leader.
Nah, Week Strong.
Week Strong. Right. Why do I get... Yo, I do that with two coworkers, too. I got two coworkers, and I always get them confused. Zach or Jermaine or Zach. And they're like, do they look alike? No. Except for being two black males with beards. No, there's nothing. No, I don't know what the problem is. I just got it locked in my head.
That's racism, bro. Damn.
You think so?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. No,
it is.
I think this is. You think so?
Yeah, you just said two black men with beards.
That was the only similarities of them. Well, they both wear baseball caps. No,
that's racism.
All right.
It is.
I'm not racist.
Yes, you are.
I hate everybody.
It's okay.
No, I'm kidding. I ain't got time to discriminate.
I hate everybody equally.
All of y'all.
All of y'all. I can't stand none of y'all.
Oh, wait. I forgot to mention, speaking of which, I had a bad day at work the other day.
What happened?
Oh, it was just aggravation and silliness. But then I thought of my man who shot the
driver.
Yeah, they got him. Yeah. He found a little follow-up finish right there. He got his
You're at work and you shoot him and you think they're not going to catch you. Why did you shoot him?
Because he wanted to get back to his route. Yeah, he was in a hurry.
No. Now you'll never get back to your route. And you left the car there.
Yeah. So you didn't finish it.
You didn't finish the route. You weren't worried about the route. You was just tired. Fuck it, I'm gonna shoot you.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, maybe he should call the Children's Help Hotline here. But I'm glad I got you the right number, P. We know that number's working.
I'm gonna store that number in. I'm gonna call him every day.
Right? How about that? Right? Nice little start to your day. Yeah. Don't forget, folks, if you miss any of cmpradio.net's content, don't forget to check out the CMP Radio YouTube or Facebook page. Don't forget, subscriber fees coming soon, so please subscribe. Listen, even if you just cash app the station $1, that $1 goes a long way to helping keeping lights on and stuff like that. It's a beautiful thing here at cmpradio.net. If I had kids, I'd put them to work here for you, P. You want me to go out and make some kids to put to work for you?
No, I'm good. I don't want none of your kids working.
With that, folks, we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us. See you next week. And until then, have a peaceful, productive, and positive week.
We're talking about the heroic work of two men.
We're going after your train.
The train can be run all night long. The train can be run all night long.